Hey Nashville, welcome back to the NFM Pod. I am your guest host, Abby, and I'm here with Tala. Hey Tala.
Hey girl.
Our sponsors for today are Music City Muscle Gym, Optimize You, and Social Indoor. Thank you so much to our sponsors. We have a guest today, Jack Espy. Hey Jack.
Like the award show.
Just like the awards. Thank you guys for having me on.
Yeah, we're going to get into what he's here for and talk about what he wants to talk about in just a second.
Tala, I love that.
Tala, what have you been up to?
I'll tell you what I want to talk about. What have I been up to? I've been up to literally, I told you this a minute ago.
You got a new job.
I have a new job. Do you want to know what it is? I am here with NFM.
She doesn't know.
Terry, I should already be fired.
Yet, guys.
This is insane. I'm on my first day of NFM Podcast, filling in, but I am the editorial lead. I'm so excited. It was actually really fate. I actually ran into Terry at a gym. I was there with my fiance and doing stuff for him, and I had always admired NFM's magazine and what y'all do online, or what we do. Your pronouns. I know. Own it. And so, yeah, I even remember going to the Music City Fit Expo last year and just falling in love with it, just thinking this was something so up my alley. I love events. I love getting people together. I love collaboration. I love community. And, you know, when the time is right and when the day is right, I will occasionally go to the gym. So I was like, let's just combine all of these amazing qualities. And I'm so happy that I ran into Terry and I was like, I want to work with you. And he was like, yes, let's do it. And so here we are. And it's just that easy. Follow your dreams, kids, and stay in school.
It's going to be beautiful, too. I can already tell. It's going to be so great.
I'm having the best time.
You were at the Fit Expo last year?
I was.
I was there. We might have met before.
Honestly, is that why you look so familiar?
You probably just saw each other before.
Probably. There were like 10,000 people. So that's probably
those
hard people to sit through.
Lifting weights.
We love the competitions. I loved all of it.
It was crazy. There was like we had a booth, but in our breaks, we would go and watch the people like maxing out. And I think there was someone doing I think it was almost 900-pound deadlift.
Oh, stop.
It was insane.
Was it a part of the Tennessee Strongest Man competition?
Yes, it was the competition that was happening.
Yeah.
But yeah, the way they would get a run and start, but they wouldn't run, not really run, but like they'd get back behind the bar, like far, like they were just like looking at the bar and they were like hyping themselves up, and then they would just walk to the bar, grab it, lift it, drop it. Everybody would like go crazy.
That's so funny.
It was so wild.
Do you want to know where I was most of the time? I was with all the girls in their sparkly swimsuits. And
the competition?
Yes. And they had a booth and I was like going and trying on like robes. And I looked at my fiance and I was like, I'm going to compete. And he was like, you have to give up Big Macs. And I was like, no, thank you. Big Macs. I'm not competing anymore. But that was so much fun. And they really, truly, the Music City Fit Expo has something for everyone. I know that's not what this is about, but cool little plug. It is really fun.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah.
For sure. Yeah. Okay. Jack.
Yes.
Hey, I forgot you were here.
I know. I'm right over here.
Yeah.
No,
nice
we're having the best time.
We have one of those. I love those.
I'll bring some by. Yeah. Got to rep the merch for Spirited Hive.
That's
exactly.
Cool. Yeah. So you're founder
and CEO of Spirited Hive. Yeah.
Okay. Tell us about your product.
I'll tell you all about it. So it is a canned cocktail that is 100% sweetened with organic wildflower honey. So no synthetic sugars, no synthetic sweeteners or anything like that. Only sweetened with honey. We got a tequila base, which is our take on a Mexican mule.
Nice.
We got our take on a Cosmo. So that's a vodka, and that's a cranberry and lime. And then we have our gin, which is our take on a Tom Collins. So a lemon and juniper berry infused honey. And then we have a very exciting new flavor coming out this summer, which is our take on a spiked tea. So it's an iced tea and honey with vodka. It's going to be a little bit lower than our other flavors. So all of our other flavors are at 7% ABV.
Okay.
This one's going to be at 4.5%.
Okay.
And non-carbonated. So perfect for the beach
or
the boat or the golf course or the pickleball course.
The Tennessee girl in me.
After a good old run.
Loving a good tea.
Yeah, you never know.
You never know. So Spirited Hive is a better for you canned cocktail that's just sweetened with honey.
Some sweet tea.
I love it.
Yeah, as Tennesseans, love to hear sweet tea coming.
For real. And it just sounds like something that has been so underserved, right? Because people that are on some sort of health journey, health kick, or just trying to live a good wellness life, they literally can lose it with just going out and getting a drink every night, and that can really wreck you. And it's really the sugar and the alcohol that's in that, but you are replacing it with obviously an alternative to natural sweetener. But before we talk about it, should we go ahead and do a debate?
Yeah, I mean, that was a really good teaser.
Thank
and
you.
I know everybody's waiting.
It's my favorite part, and I've only done it once.
Abby forgot that we got to do the basket of debate, and now I just really want to get into it more about Hive. But I love the basket of debate.
But now we've got them wanting more. See what I did there?
Exactly.
Little teaser.
Get them excited.
Yes.
Yeah. Okay, let's let Jack start. Okay, you're going to grab the paper.
All right.
And grab the paper. Read the prompts. And there are 2 questions under the prompt. You can choose or do both.
The unwritten rules of the gym. What's an unspoken gym rule everyone should know, but someone always breaks? Should we do that one first, or should I just ask both questions?
Does that one sound good to you?
That one sounds great.
Do you have an answer for that one?
I like this one better.
Okay.
Should there be a
that's why you get to
fine
choose.
for taking mirror selfies longer than 10 seconds?
Should a gym fine if you take your...
Maybe not a fine, but should it be frowned upon?
Whew.
Longer than 10 seconds.
Longer than 10
You can
seconds.
take them, just...
I can't do anything in 10 seconds.
I think, in my opinion, that might be. What do you mean?
Sign me up. There's
you
no way. Are you kidding? Actually, the majority of the time I'm at the gym, I'm taking a selfie probably. Yeah, I'll be the relatable one here.
Did it happen if you
Fair
didn't
enough.
take a picture?
Exactly. Literally, exactly. No, 10 seconds, I can't do anything.
10 seconds. I mean, think about it. I don't even want to count it out because it's so long.
Oh, whatever. Whatever.
I would be sitting here counting down.
So
on
we
the
know
podcast.
your answer, Jack, obviously.
Well, I'm all
Jack.
about,
Jack.
hyping people up. But sometimes it gets to the point where, I'm at the gym and there's, a dude there, taking shirt off, flexing, taking photos. And I'm kind of all right, calm down a little bit.
Okay, now I understand why the 10 seconds feel like 10 minutes to you.
Yeah.
Do you love Planet Fitness?
Because
you're not allowed to do all that there.
The lunk.
You're not? Oh, I didn't know that.
You're
There's a
super
lunk alarm.
There's a lunk alarm. It's a whole thing.
I've never even heard
Yeah,
of
if you
this.
take pictures in the gym, or if you have there's a dress code too.
There's a dress code to the gym?
Yeah, no sports bras only. Basically, if you're just doing anything to intimidate anybody else, then there is an actual alarm that will go off.
And they control it at the front. So it's really just based on someone else's opinion of you.
Okay.
Also,
I think that's a little ridiculous, but I don't know.
yeah,
there are some gyms though that allow that kind of stuff. There's a couple here in Nashville that are, because there's a lot of influencers here
Yeah.
in Nashville, and you go to some of these gyms, and there's nothing against it, but
And then some have a posing room.
some have posing rooms, and that's, I think, perfect. I think that's a perfect way
perfect.
around
No
this. is
time
a
limit.
posing room, but you're not allowed to do it in the regular gym because it does get in the way, especially some of these big influencers have the tripods out and everything, and that just kind of gets in the way. So
They bring in a whole production crew now?
I think we solved it with a posing room.
Okay, that's a
good.
perfect
There you go.
answer. What about you?
I don't think I've ever seen anybody with a whole thing, tripod or anything. But I mean, we have a home gym, and then I work out at the gym I work at pretty much now, and most of the people there aren't influencers. Nobody really
Come to
is
the
an
gym with
influencer.
me. I'll show you my tripod. I'll introduce you to her.
Okay.
Her name's Trixie.
She has a name.
Oh, her name's Trixie, yeah.
Oh,
Trixie the tripod.
Trixie.
100%.
Tripod.
Yes. Oh my gosh.
Wow.
Yeah. She doesn't
Yeah,
just
I
wake
gotta
up
meet
like
her.
this.
You
Yeah.
gotta
She's
meet
my
Trixie.
bestie.
I think that you should be proud of your gains. And if you want to take a picture in the mirror, go for it. I think if you're in the way of equipment, or you're doing something that interrupts the flow of what people are there to try to be productive about,
Yeah.
then no. So maybe 10 seconds is a really short amount of time to do anything, but you can snap it real quick, flex, snap, move on. So
Yeah.
I think it's easier
give
for
it,
guys. I think that's why you and I are did he just say 10 seconds is a lot? No, but I think guys for sure, because I'll ask, John, will you take a photo of me? He's like, I'm taking one. You get one. And I mean, the amount of pressure that I'm under for that one photo that he's going to take of me, my whole life depends
much.
on it.
Yeah.
It is a lot.
Yeah.
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 The pressure sets in.
Yeah. So I'm like, yeah, hype it up, but also don't be obnoxious about it, I think. So
That feeds the gym etiquette answer too.
It does.
Don't be obnoxious about it.
yeah.
I
Okay.
put mine back in there, so I don't know.
You did?
You might grab it
Might
again.
not. Let me see. Yep, got the same one. Okay. Gym stereotypes. Who are you? What is the weirdest gym personality you've ever encountered? That's kind of a hard one, I feel like.
Kind of hard question.
The weirdest gym personality you've ever encountered. Not weird necessarily, but like kind of odd or just like I don't understand it is people who, at least in group fitness, who come to group fitness and will like have their headphones in or like are on their phone the whole time, the whole class. Or just like seem like they don't want to be there. That kind of person I don't really understand because I'm like, you should just go work out at the Y or like, you know, you could do a workout on your own. Like, this is group fitness, so it's community. So I don't really get that person, but I don't know if that's not necessarily weird.
No, that's a good answer. I don't have anyone that comes to mind at all because I'm in my zone. When I go to the gym, I've got the headphones in and I'm just in my zone. If someone is doing something around me, odds are I'm probably not noticing it. I don't know.
I'm kind of in the same boat. I think my personality is probably like a little skeptical. Is just like because when I go to a gym,
You are
like,
the person.
I am the person.
If you don't know them, you are that person.
Yeah, exactly. Both of us over here, we're like, I don't know.
Yikes.
It's y'all.
But I think for me, it's funny because like I always am like so focused, and I only have so much time to go to the gym and work out. So I'm like super focused in the gym, and like someone has come up to me before and like started talking to me, and I'm like obviously like very charismatic, very nice guy, and they're like, I was not expecting that, and I was like, what do you mean? And they're like, you always have like a resting like mean face when you're in the gym, and I'm always like, really? And they're like, yeah, and I'm like, oh, it must be
Doesn't
because I'm just,
everybody?
like- I feel like a lot of people do.
Yeah.
You know? So I think
Yeah,
that
because
could
I'm
be-
not smiling. I can assure you that.
Yeah, I think that's totally normal. I mean,
Okay,
if you're
that's
like,
very
normal.
normal.
Okay, good. All right.
because yeah, you're like, I mean, you're not just gonna make a resting mean face. You're gonna make a resting like this is hard face.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, you're gonna be like grunting and
Yeah.
gritting your teeth.
Yeah.
I guess that though, that does bring up like I've heard people over my headphones grunting, throwing weights. Maybe I'm talking about my fiance, maybe I'm not. And that's weird to me. I'm like, oh, well, you're not in the privacy of your own home.
I think it can be too much.
It is.
I think it's fine if it's like, you know, you're putting up a lot of weight, you're grunting or whatever. But when it's like the whole entire set, like
Yeah.
nonstop, it's
Yeah.
kinda
Or the
like,
whole
what is
gym
going
can
on?
hear you.
Over your headphones.
Yeah.
And I have like blasted my headphones. Do you feel like you're going to have early onset like
100%.
deafness?
Yeah.
Okay, me too. Great. I'm glad that we're all in this
Yeah.
together. Okay.
Probably.
Yeah.
My
All right,
turn?
your turn.
Thank you, my little Easter basket. Let's see. Equipment hoarders, strategic training, or gym greed. Is setting up a circuit using every dumbbell size from 5 to 75 pounds a genius move, or should they be arrested for hoarding?
Wait, say that again.
So this is someone who's doing circuit training, and they
Okay.
are literally incorporating 5 to 75 pounds, like the whole time. Like they're using up all the equipment.
Like all of the levels.
I've never done that. So
I've seen it.
You've seen it?
Well, I think there's a balance, you know, where it's like, okay, like if you use a bench and then you're using like the pull-up bar and you're using like one other thing. Like if it's 3 things, I think that's okay. But if you're taking up like more than that, it's
Yeah.
like, okay, you
Hoarding.
got to share.
Yeah, sharing is caring, even in the gym.
Oh, for
Yeah.
sure.
What about you?
Yeah, I do think that's part of gym etiquette, just being considerate of the equipment that everybody has to use. We all got to share it. So, yeah, I don't know if I've seen anybody use like such a range of so many pieces of equipment.
Yeah.
But I'd say my biggest pet peeve is just like not putting it back. where it goes, because then people have to go search. So maybe it is available. Maybe nobody's using it, but you have to go searching for, like, where is it?
That is such a good point, too. And I like how all of this is, like, kind of going back to your first question about gym etiquette, too, because it really all ties in together. But I didn't know that. Honestly, I was actually kind of thrown off by this question because I didn't really realize, like, if you're doing circuit training that you're incorporating, like, every weight. Like, I mean, not that you would be, but I didn't realize, like, why would someone grab a 5 and a 75? Like, what's the point there?
Yeah.
Tell me, expert.
I think it's like depending on the workout, maybe.
Yeah,
like,
depending on the movement. Like, if you're gonna do, I mean, I don't think I've done that, but like,
would be the spectrum between a 5 and a 75.
yeah, I think that's just way too much of a range. Honestly,
I think we should just blame the person that wrote this question, Terry. At this point,
I do it all the time.
no,
I mean,
totally
I could
kidding.
see like a 5 that a man would be using, like flies, maybe like lateral raises, but that's like tricep kickbacks. But that's still so small of a weight.
Still judged.
I'm so sorry, Terry. No,
what
no,
Terry uses.
you did a great
Whoops.
job.
Sometimes I need a 5.
Sometimes I need a 5. Yeah,
No, sometimes those 5s will. You'll
they'll
be
still
surprised
get you
real quick.
Oh yeah.
Oh, yeah.
You're gonna make me feel bad. Keep going.
We used to like
Depends on the rep range too.
100%. Well, I used to teach spin, and we would like obviously incorporate like one song, and we would like take literally the low, like a 2-pounder, and you would just do your ups, and I can't even do this with the mic, but you would literally just the whole time you're doing something with the weight, and I mean myself included, you would just need a moment, and it's very true that like the weight doesn't matter, guys. Just do it. Yeah.
The weight does matter, but
sorry.
But yeah.
And that's why she's
Yeah,
the
girl.
expert over here, and I'm not, obviously.
Okay, let's get back into Hive. Tell us about. You told us like the base, the spirits that comes with. Tell us about the ingredients. What makes Hive special compared to another drink we would grab in the summertime or whenever?
Yeah, totally. So I think our biggest thing is that we don't use any synthetic sweeteners. We only use organic wildflower honey, and that's kind of our biggest difference. And then obviously we use organic and natural ingredients such as juices, flavors, extracts, etc. Whereas like a lot of these other big companies you spin around the label and you try to pronounce some of the things and ingredients in the back and you can't pronounce it. And you know, a lot of the brands now are coming out, they just don't really care. So you'll see on the label, like, you know, Surfside Sun Cruiser, like it says artificially sweetened on the front. And, you know, that's just targeting a different consumer at the end of the day. For us, like we're trying to target people who care about, you know, finding that balance, kind of like what I was telling you earlier, that, you know, they care about health and fitness, they care about, you know, what they put in their body, but they also like to have fun. So they want to gravitate and grab something off the shelf that's a little bit better for them, that's using an organic sweetener like honey rather than, you know, aspartame, sucralose, or those kind of ingredients.
Honey is obviously the choice that people would use as the alternative for sweetener. But what was it in that moment that you were like, that's it? Like, where did this concept come from?
Yeah, so it's actually kind of a funny, I like to call it a sweet mistake that kind of led me to create Spirited Hive. So it was right at the beginning of the pandemic. So I was actually in college right before I started this company. I was at USC in Los Angeles, and my whole background was real estate finance, real estate development. And I graduated into the pandemic. The job I was supposed to get outside of school fell through, like so many other of my friends. And, you know, there I am one night, you know, making drinks for my buddies, because what else is there to do during the pandemic other than, you know, have some cocktails with some buddies.
We all became bartenders.
We were all in that situation.
That's hilarious.
And I was making my two favorite drinks at the time, which are Moscow Mules and Mexican Mules. So I was making these drinks, and my buddies were like, damn, Jack, like these drinks are really good. Like, you have got to can them, because that was right at the beginning of when all these canned cocktails were coming out. Like, there was a new canned cocktail coming out pretty much every other week.
Your High Noons.
You know, Ondas, like all those different brands were all coming out around like 2019, 2020, right at the beginning of the pandemic. And, you know, there I am, little naive me, right out of college, never working for someone, let alone starting, you know, my own company, and in an industry I knew nothing about. And there I was, and I was like, well, how hard could it be? So, you know, there we are thinking about different names for this new beverage or this new brand I was going to create. And I had this aha moment. And I was like, wait, guys, what about the name Mint Bee? And they all pause and look at each other and laugh and go, dude, that is the stupidest name I've ever heard of. But
Such support.
Like, why Mint
Shot down.
Bee? They're like, it doesn't make any sense. Like, why Mint Bee? And I was like, come on, guys. Like, you know, mint because there's mint in a Moscow Mule, and bee because it's sweetened with honey. And they're like, what are you talking about? There's no honey in either of those drinks. And I'm not a mixologist, and I was just pretty much the least lazy one to get up and make the drinks that night. But I kind of have an addiction with honey. I put honey on everything from my coffee in the morning to I put it on steak.
Wow.
It's delicious
Ooh,
on
you try that.
steak.
That sounds good.
On
That sounds
pizza,
really good.
on like anything you can think of, I put it on. So I just so happen to be sweetening these drinks with honey. And right when they said that there's no honey in those drinks, that's when the light bulb went off my head, and I was like, wait, hold on. Like, all the drinks out there right now on the market are all pretty much synthetically sweetened with sucralose, aspartame, etc. So I was like, well, what if I took a different approach to this whole industry, the canned cocktail industry, and I made a better for you canned cocktail that focused on ingredients, but more importantly, focused on the sweetener and only sweetened it with organic wildflower honey. Started doing some research, and really at that time, there's nothing like that on the market. So instead of just building, a canned cocktail, I built this whole idea on a brand that was only sweetened with honey. So we started with the Mexican Mule, started bringing that to parties during the pandemic, and my friends were like, "Oh,
You guys were partying during the pandemic. Hold on, we have to go back. Now we know where it started.
That part real quick.
Yeah, we were just like having parties every night, hundreds of people during the pandemic.
It was funny because it was like I was living back at home with my parents, and it felt like I was back in high school because like my parents were like, "You can't go out, you can't do this, you can't do that," and I was like, "Okay." So
what
I ended
a
up.
time.
I love it.
We
gotta rough
it was a
it.
wild time. And look, at the end of the day, like I am. It's crazy because my COVID set my whole life on a totally different trajectory. Like I wouldn't be here right now if it wasn't for COVID because, that put me on this path of creating Spirited Hive.
Yeah.
Whereas before I would have been in real estate finance living in Los Angeles.
Wow.
So I wouldn't live in Nashville, wouldn't have met you too. So it's a big crazy ride. But during the pandemic, started bringing these drinks to different parties and my friends started to try them and they're like, wow, I really love this idea. Does it work with vodka? Does it work with gin? Does it work with bourbon? So I started making these other, canned drinks, and that's when I came out with a Cosmo, Tom Collins. We had a bourbon drink for a little while, and it kind of evolved into now the name is Spirited Hive because, this idea of hive, this idea of community around, this drink was built for friends with friends and bringing your hive together, but also every friend group brings a different spirit to the group. You got the funny one, you got the serious one, you got whatever it is. And also not every friend group likes the same alcohol base. So if you like the idea, or if your hive likes the idea of an organic sweetener for these drinks, we got a tequila, a gin, a vodka, a bourbon for anyone in your hive, anyone in your friend group.
Much better name. Can we both agree?
Yeah.
Much better name.
So many layers to like your creativity of like with the word hive and like the drink itself and the base of the liquor being used and your hive. I think of like your tribe, your people. So fun. I love that. And I am very health conscious, obviously this is my world, but I do still love to enjoy a drink and I love to do it with my friends and my hive. And so I personally really appreciate the idea to keep ingredients clean while still
Having fun.
Having balance. Because I think like people when they think alcohol, they don't think clean ingredients. So they're probably just not even worried about it. Like they're not trying to like target that kind of community. But so it's such a habit for me of like going to the grocery store, the things I buy off the shelf. Like I don't pick up certain things anymore.
Oh, me too.
Honey is one that I do take off the shelf still.
Yeah.
And so when I'm looking, and I look at the ingredients of everything I buy, like I'm always checking the label. It's just habit at this point. And so it would be very refreshing to pick up a drink like that and see the ingredients and be able to pronounce them.
Yeah.
One of the things I saw on your Instagram was that one of the highlights is like no malt. Honestly, I know malt is one of the ingredients in so many drinks that everyone drinks. But what is malt? Can you explain why we don't want that?
Malt is like synthetically made, and it's derived from it's almost like a beer that doesn't have the hops in it. So they pull the hops out, and that's kind of why you can sell it in all, like that's why here in Tennessee. So Tennessee, you can only sell spirits in liquor stores, but malt can be sold pretty much anywhere because it's pretty much a beer, but without the hops in it. So that's why it leaves you feeling very bloated after drinking so many of them, or you feel crappy the next day because it's using so many artificially, sweetened sugars in there to make up the drink.
Right, because if it doesn't taste like beer, it tastes like nothing.
Yeah, so you can throw down a couple. Yeah. It's like a sparkling water that will get you going.
Get you going.
Oh, we know.
I have 2 questions, and this immediately came to mind. Please tell me the first question. Please tell me you've reached out to Beyonce's rep to sponsor this.
You'll be surprised how many people have asked me about that.
Come on.
Yeah.
Come on.
I mean, I would love to get it in front of her. However, it would be a pretty penny to get that done.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Well, we'll help. Hopefully, we'll
yeah.
push you in front of her.
That'd be
Hopefully.
amazing. Yeah.
Second question I had is, obviously we're talking about the health benefits. We're talking about what sets it apart. Do you have, I'm going to play my best Shark Tank here. Obviously, we're taking something like, equivalent to a High Noon or something like that, and Spirited Hive. Tell me the stats between both of them and how they differ.
So High Noon, actually, looking between Hive and High Noon, High Noon's actually a pretty darn good product when it comes to ingredients. I will give that to them. They do use a lot of artificial flavors. We use more natural flavors, and then they do use cane sugar. So if I'm going to, let's say Hive didn't exist, and I'm going to a supermarket to go pick up a ready-to-drink canned cocktail, probably 9 times out of 10, if Hive wasn't there, I would pick up High Noon because it's only using cane sugar. However, there's a lot of other products on the market that utilize artificial sugars, and that's the ones that you want to stay away from.
Yeah.
Yeah.
A lot of sucralose and stuff like that.
Aspartame.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I am so excited to try one. Sad that
I know.
I know.
Literally, my mouth is watering. Hearing this.
Where's the honey?
Hive? Where's the honey? I need some honey.
I know. Do you have a beehive? Take me through this process too.
I do not.
Okay.
But we do work with a bunch of different apiaries. We work with a large apiary up in Pennsylvania to get a lot of our honey, but we're also trying to source local honey here in Tennessee as well. And that's obviously hard to do because we need a lot of honey to produce this product. So we can't just take all of it from a local apiary because there would be no honey left. So we're always trying to work with local apiaries here in Tennessee. And, that's another big movement that we're going to try to source even more in this upcoming year, just to be able to support, local apiaries here in Tennessee.
Yeah.
I know there's another organization that you guys partner with that is all about the bees.
Oh, yeah.
I'm going to ask you about that.
Is it the bee's knees?
I don't know. Not the bee's knees.
No, I meant is it whatever.
Oh, is it? Oh, I'm assuming it is the bee's knees. We're going to figure it out if it's the bee's knees.
Sorry.
After the break.
Old person.
So we'll be right back, guys. All right, guys, welcome back to the NFM Pod. We are here with Jack Espy.
Espy. That's right.
I knew I was going to say that wrong. And we were just talking about the bees because you're a honey fanatic.
I am.
And honey comes from bees, so we love bees. And you got your company partners with another company, Apis.
Yeah, Project Apis M. So they're
Okay.
one of the leading nonprofits for bee education and bee conservation. So we partner with them. We give back to them every single year, and we're trying to, partner with them to do more events, activations, get the knowledge out there that, bees are dying. Actually, this year, 2024 to 2025, has been a big year and a big die-off of a lot of hives here in the U.S. and
gosh.
around the world.
Wow.
Didn't know
And it's
that.
been progressive getting worse. There's a lot of, I don't know too much in the weeds of why it's happening, but it is a big issue. I mean, not only for saving the bees, but also to be able to, make sure that these hives are growing and not dying, especially for my company. We utilize honey. So it's a big issue, but we've been partnered with them for a couple of years now, and they've been an amazing agency to work with, and they're doing a lot of amazing things to, educate people around bees, et cetera.
Yeah, I didn't know that. I mean, I feel like everyone's always like, save the bees.
Oh, yeah.
And I love bees. We need them.
Without bees, we'd
They're
be
essential.
dead. Yeah.
Right. We
Yeah,
need
they
them.
Do you know that
pollinate
the Bee
everything.
movie has taught me so much about this conversation?
That is
Yeah.
a great movie.
It's a great, Barry would be so proud of me right now.
Yay!
Oh my gosh. Like, I'm literally thinking about it and I'm like, he was so right. Like,
They need to make a bee movie too.
It wasn't just
with
a kid
hives.
movie.
and they should, yes, with Spirited Hives, they should be drinking
Hive.
them.
That'd be so funny.
Oh yeah, that'd be
yeah.
so funny.
His
Do you dress
human
up as a bee
girlfriend.
for Halloween.
Oh, I've done so many bee things. My friends are like so annoyed. They're like, okay, real original. Like, try something new.
Yeah. So
but
funny,
yeah, I do
though.
like a lot of founders tastings, and I've been thinking about, to get the marketing out there to like dress in either like a bee suit or be in like I think a bee suit would be pretty good to do
Yeah.
for founders.
You can be a
tasting.
beekeeper.
A
Like, you just
beekeeper as
keep,
well.
you could be Beyonce one year too.
be
I mean, just like
Beyonce.
keep it going.
Keep it going,
So
yeah.
many puns.
So many puns.
So many puns. I guess like the question that, we were just talking about this during our break is, with businesses like this that are doing so well, where are we going from here? Where
Yeah.
is Spirited Hive going?
Yeah, so I mean, the traction for us has been amazing over the past, year. It's been a slow growth for the longest time. I mean, I started this company in 2020, got it to market in 2022. For the whole first year and a half, it was just me wearing all the different hats, trying to figure out what I was doing, not only on running a company, but getting product on shelves, depleting the product off the shelves. And, fast forward to now 2025, I have a whole team behind me, and we are, rip roaring. We're getting into multiple different markets. We just got into Publix in the whole state of Florida.
Wow.
Yes.
Which is
That's
amazing.
amazing.
So we're in all the Publix liquor stores, 370 stores in Florida.
And there's a lot of Publix in Florida.
Oh yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. There's 900. I think there's 950 Publix actual grocery stores, and then we're in the liquor stores, and there's 370. So we got in every single one.
That's awesome.
And for like a company of our size to do that is like
Yeah.
unheard of. So,
Wow.
and I think that really all boils down to, who we are as a brand, and so focus on community, but also having a unique beverage that is sweetened with honey. People are leading towards, health and wellness and having better for you products. We're seeing it, within food,
Yeah.
we're seeing it within beverage, and now we're seeing it within alcoholic beverages. So I think they needed to have a product to fill that itch, and they saw Spirited Hive, and they're like, hey, these guys are doing it,
Was it
perfect.
shocking to notice that no one had tapped into that yet?
I mean, yes and no, but like you look at like today in 2025, like health and wellness is everywhere. It's talked about all the time. Back in 2020, 2019, 2020, it was still prevalent, but not as prevalent as today.
Yeah.
So
And
back-
health and wellness, I feel like, was also only for a certain group of people almost. Like,
yeah.
It's like, if
Yeah.
that's your hobby, if that's your thing.
Yeah, it's
and
kinda
now
like a
it's like
stigma
more for
with it.
everybody.
Yeah.
It's definitely a shift, I think.
Well, now we're seeing it within beverage alcohol, like even products that aren't better for you. Because like better for you is such like, how do you really describe better for you? And in my opinion, it's all about ingredients. You know, I focus about ingredients, et cetera, whereas like the other side of the better for you is focus on calories and utilizing those synthetic sweeteners to be low calorie, be low carb. So now we're seeing all these other products in the market that utilize better for you on the packaging. And it's not right, it's not wrong. Because it's however you kind of see that. And in my opinion, it's about ingredients, but everyone's starting to do it now because they see the trend and they see the dollar signs that are attached to the health and wellness industry. Because look, like, you know, all these big beverages are getting acquired now for hundreds of millions of dollars that are in the health and wellness, you know, space. But, you know, getting into Publix, we just got into Meijer in Michigan, which is amazing. So 150 stores up in Michigan. So that wave is coming, and we're hopefully going to get to a point of an acquisition in the next couple of years. But it's just focusing on going as deep as we can in each market we enter, not spreading ourselves too thin, and, you know, just creating those hive communities in every market we go into, you know, spreading that idea of hive in each market we're in.
I like that, hive communities.
Yeah, love that. And you guys are special because it's small. Like, we're talking to the founder right now. And that makes me, I'm probably only going to buy Hive if I get something in a can now. Because you're right about so many companies seeing that dollar sign of making it better for you. But if I know a product is owned by a big company that I wouldn't buy any of their other products, I don't want to buy it, even if the ingredients look better. I'm like, well, I don't buy anything else from you. I don't really trust this company. So being small and being like hearing your story, like where it came from and your own passion for clean ingredients makes it that much more valuable to people who really do care about.
Oh, totally. I mean, like
this.
The reason why, you know, companies become very successful is all derived from the why behind the product. You know, my why with Spirited Hive is to create a better for you version of a canned cocktail on the market for people like us who care about health and wellness, but also like to have fun and crack open a drink. Like, have that on the shelf for someone like us to buy.
Yeah.
And that's the true why. If someone's building a company to make money, you know, you're not gonna, one, have a why, which in turn you won't make any money off that. So it's cool to have that why be so ingrained into the company, but also too, kind of to your point, you know, people buy from people, and when they get to know me as like the founder who started it and like is so like Spirited Hive is an extension of me, you know, people buy into that because they're like, oh, like this guy lives and breathes this brand because he is that brand, and people can buy into that. And that's another thing too, that like we're seeing a lot of these acquisition companies are buying into kind of the founder, almost like founder-led companies that have a true brand behind it, because, you know, these big companies can make amazing products, but they can never innovate the founder story because it just doesn't exist.
And, you know, it's kind of interesting that we're talking about this because this whole time I was like, I am just so, I don't even know you and I'm proud of you. I'm like, could tear up because it's so amazing to see. I'm so happy for him. You know, the thing for me though is this is such a success story, right? Like we could be talking about anything. We just so happen to be talking about obviously, you know, spirits but we could have been talking about anything, and you have such a success story to be able to say, yeah, we landed Publix, we landed Meijer's, like, for someone that's watching that is wanting to, you know, obviously that has that entrepreneurial spirit and they have this idea, they have this product, they have this service, you know, the first question is, what would you say to them? How would they get started? And I guess I'd love to know, you have to have had an aha moment by now, like I've made it moment. I mean, have you seen someone out and about drinking, you know, Spirited Hives and you're just like, that's my drink?
Well, I mean, it's getting to that point now.
Yeah.
And it's kind of extended past just Tennessee, because we're a Tennessee built company, a Nashville built company. And it was funny, I was eating at the Soho House today, and I was at the bar having, you know, some food, and I was talking to the bartender, and he looks at my hat and he goes, Spirited Hive? I go, yeah. Hive? And he goes, it's so crazy. I love Spirited Hive. And I was like, I'm the founder.
What?
And he goes, no way. He's like, that's so cool. And he starts laughing. He goes, you'll love this story. I was playing golf over the weekend, and his buddy pulls out. He's like, hey, I found this new canned cocktail, and pulls out Hive. And he goes, oh my gosh, I love Hive. So
Oh
like
my
those kind of
gosh.
things here have been happening for kind of a while, which is awesome. But we're based here in Nashville. But now, like, since we're so big in Florida with Publix, I'm getting photos from people that I somewhat know, like, oh, like, look at this new drink or whatever it is in Florida. So it's getting to that aha moment.
Yeah.
And for me, it's so cool to see, like, I built this company from scratch.
Yeah.
And we're seeing this momentum, but like, there's still and this is like this is the beginning,
Yeah.
So there's still a long road ahead to get to the end goal of hopefully an acquisition in the next, 3 to 4 years. But it's a good start, that's for sure.
What's the biggest takeaway so far that you've learned, like starting your business from scratch? You said you were in finance before?
Well, I was in college, but I was studying real estate finance and real
Okay.
estate development. Yeah.
So, just what have you learned doing this, starting your own business? What's the biggest thing?
I think two things. I think for any like founders that are listening or potential new founders, I think the biggest thing is try everything and fail fast if you're going to fail. Like failure is okay, but you want to fail fast because you want to get to see if it works. If it doesn't work, okay, it didn't work. Like, don't let that get to you. Just keep going. Just keep the momentum going and try as many things as possible, because I'll tell you, it's been 5 years and I failed. I can't even tell you how many times, but we're still going. And don't let failure get to you. And then the second point is make sure that, in the beginning, you're doing everything. Make sure you wear every single hat when you're starting that company, from operations to marketing to sales to raising money to being the accountant to like everything, because you get a good idea of the whole map of what makes up the company. Do that until a point where you can't do that anymore, because then it starts to bottleneck everything. But then make sure you hire correctly. You hire the best people to come in to head up that position that you need to head up, from sales to marketing to operation. And then you just make sure that they run their teams and you incentivize them to lead their own teams. And then that way you get to lead those people, and it kind of creates like a good, working environment. Like if I'm trying to figure out what's going on with, one sales rep, that's not the best use of my time.
Right.
So I think it's just being able to compartmentalize everything is really, really big, but make sure you hire on the right people.
Yeah. Jack makes me feel like I can do anything. I have such
Jack.
confidence. I have such confidence
Can you like
from
write
this.
everything you just said down?
Yeah.
So if we have an idea, we know exactly
just
what to do.
get after
I love it.
Yeah.
I love it.
Yeah.
You can
We'll
listen to it.
rewatch
Circle
it.
back, yeah.
We'll rewatch it.
Yeah. No, I think that's such an important point, what you said about making sure you hire well. I feel like I was just talking to my boss the other day about a gym one of his buddies has, and how he started out coaching all the classes, and the members would only come to his classes. They loved the way he did it, the way he would lead the class, and then he couldn't get them to go to any of the other classes. So he kind of got stuck still wearing all the hats.
Yeah.
And you can't wear the hats forever and expand at the same time.
No.
So making sure that the people you hire are well equipped, they're the right people, and that they're going to show your product the way you would, with the same passion, the same professionalism, whatever it may be. That sounds like super important.
Oh yeah. I mean, there's a saying, hire slow, fire fast. Yeah.
Did you hear that, Terry? But it actually,
Tala.
it's so funny. Yeah, he has no idea what he brought on. It's so funny because I'm loving this, and yes, I'm still like eager to try it. Like
Yeah.
this whole time, I've just been dying to try it. So if you're here locally in Tennessee, where can we find it?
So if you're
I
here
might stop on my
locally
way
in
home.
Tennessee, we're sold in pretty much any liquor store within the state for the most part. Definitely in Nashville. If you're local to Nashville, we're in any liquor store. And then, we're in Neighbors. If you know Neighbors, the
Yeah.
bar. We're in Neighbors.
That's
We're
awesome.
Love Neighbors.
You know, we're on Broadway in a couple of accounts. We're in a bunch
Nice.
of, you know, on-premise accounts at bars and restaurants. You just have to ask for Spirited Hive, and you'll be able to find us.
Okay.
Are you originally from Nashville? How did you go from LA to Nashville?
So I'm kind of a mutt.
Okay.
I was born in Denver. I grew up in Denver until I was around 14. My parents are divorced, so when I turned, right before I went to high school, my mom and stepdad wanted to move to California, and my dad wanted to move to Nashville. So I moved to California with my mom and stepdad. My dad moved here, so I kind of grew up, you know, from 14 on, kind of going back and forth. And then I moved here about 4 years ago, give or take. And I was living between here and New York, kind of back and forth, growing this company. And so, yeah, that's kind of...
How do you feel about Nashville?
I love Nashville.
You gonna stay forever?
I don't know if I'll stay forever because of Florida. Florida's now become, you know, Nashville will always be our headquarters, you know, and where everything started. But Florida's definitely will become our biggest state, so I'll have to be down there. So
Makes
They're
sense.
gonna need you.
yeah, they're gonna need me. So I'm gonna have to probably make that move in the next couple of months down to Florida.
Oh wow!
Next couple of months.
Glad we got him in.
Time
Yeah.
flies with, you know, these CPG brands. I mean, if they're growing, they can grow quick.
Yeah. If
Yeah.
you want to have a hive with Jack, you got to go to the beach.
Yeah,
There
that
you
is
go.
the beach.
It's not that bad.
Yeah.
Not that bad. What is your ideal vibe? It's hive o'clock.
It's 5 o'clock. Yeah.
It's 5 o'clock somewhere. What is your ideal vibe if you're gonna drink a hive? All these hive is such a good.
Oh yeah,
it's such a good name.
It's
You
such
can do
a
so
great
much
name.
with it.
You can do so many different slogans and
Yes.
sayings with hive.
Yes.
It's crazy.
What's your ideal vibe with a hive?
Ideal vibe, no matter what. When it's 5 o'clock, I'm always with my hive, like with my community, with my friends, and it's tough. Like the specific vibe, I'm just getting off of the Masters itch. So like on a golf course, that's for sure. And we have that new tee coming out. So
Yeah.
that's, you know, it's tea time all summer long.
Yeah.
And a slogan that I just
With the-
kind of
with the new hive
whipped
flavor.
up is, you know, it's tea time at the tee box. You
I
know,
like
for
that.
the summer, tee off for golf. So I would say that right now, but also, you know, I love the beach. I'm a big surfer. So probably after a good surf sesh with my buddies, have a hive over the summer.
Nice.
I
What about
love
you,
it.
Tala?
Oh my gosh, what's my vibe for a hive?
At 5 o'clock.
At
Yeah.
hive o'clock?
With or without your hive?
No, I have to have the hive. Are we talking about the hive as my people
All the
or
hives.
as my
Yeah.
drink?
All the hives are
Yeah.
there.
All the hives, including the drink.
Including
the
tea.
drink,
Yeah.
including Beyonce.
Yeah.
And Beyonce, yes. You know what? I love that answer. I mean, I'm a Tennessee girl. Take me to the lake.
Oh, there we go.
Take me to the lake. Don't put me in the lake, but take me to the lake. Get me on your nice, fancy boat. And give me a Spirited Hive. I mean, honestly, though, I'm so excited for the tea option because, like, truly, if you pumped sweet tea into my bloodstream, my body would not know the difference. So this
Yeah.
is like so perfect for me. What's yours?
I mean, there's so many settings I could
Working out.
imagine having. I haven't even tried the hive yet, but
Yeah. You
the
will.
Spirited Hive.
You will.
But I will, and there's so many settings I can picture myself in it. The back patio,
Yeah.
the summer, maybe the tequila-based one with Taco Tuesday.
Ooh, yeah.
Ooh, yeah.
Definitely the beach. Now that we know it's in Florida,
Yep.
I'm gonna be at Publix next time I'm at the beach. Yeah, so many settings.
Yeah.
I like the lake though, and on a boat.
On a
That
boat.
sounds fun. That sounds so fun.
Wind in
right
my
now.
hair, hive. I honestly, it's like
I'm so
I
glad
have
it's
to
better
go.
weather.
No, like for real, I love it because the weather is just perfect right now. It's
Yeah.
exactly what this
Yeah.
conversation needs. But I also have a question because we're obviously talking about all these flavors that you have.
Yep.
Who's the mastermind behind these
That's a good
flavors?
question.
Who's the taste tester? Do you need taste testers also?
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah.
We
Do you need?
Because
always need
we're
taste
available.
testers.
Abby and I are available.
Oh yeah. Whenever I come out with a new flavor, I always taste test it with usually my hive at the end of the day. But
Okay.
I can extend the hive and bring you guys in to now be the taste testers as well.
Please do. And
But
then we'll bring it into the studio, and you'll
yeah,
see
put
hive.
it right here.
Yes.
Hive right here.
Right up here. I mean, it is Taco Tuesday, so I should have brought the tequila.
Oh
Yeah.
man.
Yeah, I done screwed that up. But when it
fine.
comes to
We'll forgive you.
formulation, I usually come up with the idea for the drink, and then we have a formulator that we work with at our production facility. So it's just kind of a process of like back and forth and perfecting the beverage. And, you know, there's no better feeling than when you do perfect the beverage. It's crazy. Like, because we usually work with a couple of different flavors that we're thinking. So like we knew we wanted to do some type of summer beverage. So we had a lemonade, a blueberry lemonade, a Arnold Palmer, and then just a regular iced tea. Tried all of them, and for us, it's really hard to get down that formulation because we're utilizing organic ingredients.
Yeah.
So a lemonade is really hard to do because it's just lemon juice. So we're not using lemonade, which is usually synthetically sweetened, or utilizing cane sugar.
Right.
So that's so hard to do. So the lemonade kind of got scrapped immediately.
Yeah.
And then we were working on the Arnold Palmer, and the Arnold Palmer tasted good, but it still wasn't that like Arnold Palmer taste because it wasn't utilizing lemonade.
Yeah.
And then we were kind of going back and forth on the iced tea. And then about 3 weeks ago, like one of the formulation changes that we made, I was like, this is the best drink ever. I was like, don't touch it anymore. Let's get this thing into production. Like what's in it?
Oh, you're talking about the tea.
The tea.
Oh, I thought it was like this new one. I was like, are you going to tell us what it is?
No.
The tea.
Exclusive.
Oh, I can't wait to try it.
Yeah,
I
but it's
know.
literally, you know, we only use a couple of natural flavors in it, and then we only use tea, vodka, and honey. And that's it.
That's so impressive.
Yeah, so it's very straightforward.
Yeah. I
I
mean,
vote-
even just like you talking about how you had to scratch some flavors because it doesn't meet your quality, like, is a testimony to the ingredients, how much this is what we're doing. These are the kind of ingredients we'll have, and that's it.
Well, also, too, on like a cost savings perspective, like a couple of years ago, honey took a massive spike in costs, and my formulator was like, do you guys want to use like a synthetic honey? And I was like, no. I was
Oh,
like, no
no.
matter what.
Yeah.
Like, that's the backbone to our company. That's what makes us different. And I'm
people-
never going to change that.
Yeah. And people who are passionate about ingredients and like trusting a business or a company with food will pay for it.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, the amount of money I spend on some brands, I grab it from the shelf and I'm like, it's insane. If my mom saw me paying this much for this, she'd be
Yeah.
like, what are you doing? But I care enough. I'm going to pay for it. So
Well, also,
do what you gotta do.
I mean, you look at our consumers, you know, and it's like, we're not for everyone, you know? Like I was saying earlier, like there's some products that literally say artificially sweetened and they still sell like crazy. But for us, it's like we go after consumers that actually care about ingredients. So, you know, we own that niche category.
Yeah.
And we can be, you know, very successful within that niche category, and that's fine with us.
You know, the more we're talking about this, I'm really realizing that it's so interesting that so many products are coming out. And we were talking about this earlier, that wellness and fitness it had this misconception that it was for a select group of people, or if it was just your hobby or that's what you're into. But now it's really everybody. And I really think it's because so many people are now saying, I want to give you an alternative to something I know you love, and I want you to change your mindset about it.
Yeah.
I love poppies for that reason. Those probiotic sodas, you know, good or bad, whatever, but I would rather drink one of those than just a regular Coke. And I just drink their cola. And you know, for me, I feel a little bit better about myself or what I'm doing and putting in my body. And I think that companies and brands and products like this, I think, are introducing people to wellness.
Oh, totally.
And you're breaking through a whole different demographic that probably would have never really even had any interest in it before.
And in a fun way, you know?
Yeah.
so fun. Yeah. Well, we're so excited to try it and so glad that you came and told us all about it today. I'm probably going to stop on the way home
Same.
and grab some.
Same.
Yep.
Oh, amazing.
Tala, you want to have happy hour?
Let's go after
Taco
this.
Tuesday.
I love it.
Yeah.
Yes, absolutely.
But is there anything else you would like to leave with the audience before we close it?
Well, I mean, if you guys are interested in trying it here in Tennessee, like I said, we're sold in pretty much any liquor store across the state. If you're in Florida, pick it up at Publix Liquor. If you're in Michigan, pick it up at Meijer. If you want to follow us, we're at Spirited Hive. And if you want to follow me, I post a lot of founder-focused stuff. It's at Jack Espy. But thank you both for having me on. It was an amazing conversation with both of you.
Yeah.
Thank you.
And your Instagram is very aesthetic. So go give them a follow.
Thank you.
It looks
Thank you.
very nice.
Yes.
Everything looks great. Well, thank you, Nashville, for listening to this episode. We are on all the platforms, so follow us, subscribe on YouTube, TikTok, Instagram, all of it. Twitter, right?
Okay, we're bringing it back.
Bring it back.
That one just popped
No
in
longer
my
X.
head. So we will see you guys next week, and have a great rest of your day. Go get some tacos and some Hive.